We pick a lot of juries. So like in California, we need 9 out of 12. Some federal courts, I need unanimous. We try to weed out the bad apples.
Yep.
But in ours is like they can only have so much influence because you need 9 out of 12 or whatever. But if you get one bad apple on a federal case where you have to be unanimous, it's bad.
Your case is done.
I wonder if we can apply the same analytics. There's certain questions I ask juries to get out who the really bad apples are to get them.
Yeah, and you just got to get them out. You got to get them out, and that's.
I like how you say "out," by the way.
Very Canadian, right? So, but it's true. You need to excise those, and a bad apple spoils the bunch. And
it does.
And I think what is so hard, it's not so somebody's a slacker, pretty easy to identify and get them out. I think what many companies struggle with is what is often described as the brilliant jerk, the brilliant asshole, somebody that is. And there's a lot of lawyers that fit this prototype. They're brilliant. They're great lawyers, but they might be awful people. And companies of all stripes have
But how do you ferret that out from the beginning? Because you could be.
Well, I think most people see it. Most people see it. Most people know who the brilliant assholes are. But many organizations, whether it's a tech company or a law firm, can kind of tolerate that person because they think the brilliant dimension outweighs all the toxic effects that
never does.
The other dimension is having. And it never does.
Never does.
But so many people, managers, fool themselves into thinking it does. And they don't see the downstream effects that has on their culture.
We do a lot with hiring, especially for us for lawyers. And we're doing a lot of jury trials. So we have to have people that resonate and get that initial gut check of credibility. We've had like 1 or 2 that have been, we talk a lot to staff. If they're treating staff poorly, there's different things, like it's different situations. So one other thing I want to talk about in this episode, I have this tradition in my house, if you come over for a whiskey or 2, and you've been there, is you have to roll, I have these Scotch rocks, and they're 20-sided die. So there's 20 sides, and they each have a different number. I used to play a lot of Dungeons & Dragons, but Jack had the highest roll ever at my house. You still do, you have the record. Because somebody
else
hold
the record?
You hold the record.
Wow.
So Jack rolled a 38 out of 40, a 20 and an 18 he rolled. And because I was like, this is your luck score for the year. And I was like, holy shit, Jack rolled a 38. Somebody rolled a 37 the other day, and I had to break it to him. That Jack Newton he beat you. He's like, how's that possible? But you did, man. So.
Well, my wife often says I have a horseshoe up my ass. So that may be manifested with that 38 roll as well. But I mean, your die do have magical powers. It has been a pretty incredible year.
But that's what, I mean, maybe it's a manifestation, but I always thought I'm the luckiest person in the world. I won a couple of game shows just by happenstance. I married up significantly. But it's more about putting yourself in position. Yeah, Tanya's awesome. One time, Jack and I, we were at dinner in Vancouver. Credit to you, just being the family, they get away, and is your middle son.
Patrick,
split his lip open.
Yeah, well, the whole side of his face. So we were at dinner with you and Christine at Miku, my favorite sushi restaurant in Vancouver. We get a call from a good friend of mine, Scott, who sends me a photo of Patrick's face, and he was playing field hockey and got the field hockey ball, right smack on his jawline, and his face was torn open and he's bleeding. He's taken him to the hospital to get, I think, what ended up being like 15 stitches. But yeah, life throws you
oh my God,
curveballs all the time. But thankfully, I think we'd finished most of our sushi at that point.
We were close.
We were close.